Hello, and welcome back to the Battle Room. I am, of course, the Battle Room. And today I'm joined by no one, but that doesn't matter because we have so much to talk about and so much to cover. So, this last weekend, there were 3 official tournaments that gave out Worlds invites that changed the trajectory of the meta and the season for many players. So let's talk about it. We have the Thailand regional, or it was like Master Ball League. I don't know what it is. I think it's their form of world qualifiers. I'm not fully sure how the qualifiers work. I'm pretty sure they have to play in the GCs, and I'm pretty sure they have an online tournament as well that allows you to play in this tournament. But this is their big event. This is how they're going to get their Worlds invite here. So that's lit. We also have the Santiago regional that took place in Chile, and then we have the Melbourne regional. And then, I'm forgetting, we also have the regional in Europe that took place as well. We have 4 events. I lied, 4 events, not 3, which is fucking crazy. So I thought I'd break down all of them. It's going to be kind of a longer video. I'll timestamp down below which event I'm talking about, so you can skip around if you don't care about Santiago or you don't care about Melbourne. I got you down below. But without further ado, let's begin. So first things first, let's talk about the smaller ones. Let's just go up, right? We're going to start with the Thailand one here. So I'm just going to kind of look through it. There's a lot of teams to cover, so I may not cover them all in depth, but either way, all of these links will be down below. So if you want to scroll through all of these fucking teams, this is a bad example. If you want to scroll through all of these fucking teams, I got you, but we're going to start here in Thailand. So number 8. I'm just going to do top 8 for this one. Obviously, there's a ton more teams. The 12 people got, I guess, you know what? I'll start with 12 because these are the ones who got Worlds invites. So right off the bat, we've got the beautiful Andrew Ding team. Nothing, I'm not really going to talk about that one. You guys know it's broken. You know it's good. They might have small changes, but either way, yeah, I guess Psychic instead of Moonblast and Terra Water. But for the most part, it's obviously going to be a very, very similar team. Still very good in the meta. I will say that this team is still fire. It's still worth practicing. It's still worth using. And it's still just fucking good. It's a very strong team. It gives you lots of options. You got Trick Room. You have 2 of the best restricteds in the game. Well, is Lunala one of the best? Probably not. But Miraidon is. He's one of the best. So you get that. You get the Bear. I think it's a great team to learn the format in. Oh, this one actually had Whimsicott though. No Grim. But yeah, I think it's a great team to learn the format. I think it helps you out you get a feel for Trick Room, you get a feel for Ursaluna, you get a feel for Miraidon and Lunala in the current format. Next up is the classic Lunala Koraidon Bear team. So this one is nothing too crazy. And then next up here is the same team that we already talked about. And then we have the boring Fake Out Brothers, Urshifu, and Terapagos. So yeah, this team is I don't know, dude. This one's nothing too crazy here. You got the Fake Out Brothers, you got Calm Mind. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything nuts here. And then next up, now we're in top 8. Again, all these people have Worlds invites, which is pretty lit. And we have the Andrew Ding, Justin Tang, Xiling Tang team. Still very goated, still very good. Again, super strong team. And then we have the the Milwaukee finalist team here. Because remember, at this point in the format, all 4 of these events cannot influence each other in what way. So it's really interesting to see what each region comes up with in terms of inspecting the meta and going forward, because they only have the Milwaukee results to look at. And I'm sure they're playing each other on the ladder, of course, but just Milwaukee influence right now. So this is similar to the team that got second at Milwaukee, but with Specs, Miraidon, and I think this might be the same set. Yeah, it's looking almost the exact same. But just with Specs, which is fair. I mean, I think Scarf's cool. I think he can throw off some lines, but Specs is obviously tried and true, just so fucking good. And then we have the same team, but with no Giraffe and Volcarona. Instead, we've got that classic Pelly Ursh, the GOATs, right? Obviously, I think this team is still pretty good. I think this core 4 is really good. I mean, these 3 are goated, and then these 3, you can kind of just do whatever you want. You don't even need Iron Hands per se. You could totally just put Ince in there. You could put, fuck it, Rillaboom. We're going to talk about that later. But yeah, you could put Rillaboom there. You could put anything, really. These 2 are the core. And then I like this guy. I like this guy too. But everything is malleable and changeable. And whatever you see fit for your team. But let's talk about this one. I like the Ursh with the Pelipper. It gives it like a really, really strong concrete mode. I think Pelly's still good. It's great into Koraidon. Like, it just shores up your Koraidon matchup with just one Pokemon that's not a restricted. Super fucking lit. A+ Mon. I mean, probably like a B tier, but it's whatever. This guy's lit too because Urshifu's still good, but you need that extra oomph, right? Like, Calyrex Shadows live your Surging Strikes. They live the Terra Water Surging Strikes, but do they live Terra Water in the rain? Probably not. So like, this can give you like a little bit edge. You can really fuck up some matchups where they might feel confident to you, but then this Pelipper comes in and you're like, fuck, dude, how am I supposed to deal with this guy now too, right? So I like this Urshifu Pelipper mode. I think it's pretty lit. Where were we? Okay, number 5. Okay, so we're still in top 8 here. We've got pretty classic Zam. I mean, okay, Calm Mind Draining Kiss is pretty crazy. I feel like that's not super popular at the moment. I do think setup Calyrex is still pretty like potent, still pretty good, but Calm Mind Draining Kiss is just not seen. We got the Fake Out Brothers, of course, and then we have Qianpao and Ogerpon instead. So it's not even like Psyshock or anything to abuse Qianpao. It's just Qianpao with the with the physical guys just to enable a Zam. I do like moving the Sash to Qianpao. Qianpao has felt like his impact in the meta is not as much as I thought, right? I thought, hey, we're getting restricteds. There's a lot more physical restricteds. There's a lot more variety in how you can use them. And Qianpao has a lot more friends because I personally really love, like, I think you can totally run 2 special restricteds. I mean, you could run 2 physical. I don't think that's super strong. But I do think having that nice mix, right? Like Lunala Koraidon, Ice Rider Miraidon, Zamazenta Calyrex. It feels so fucking good when one of them is special and one of them is physical. But that does mean Qianpao is now fucking gas because usually he's going to have a partner on almost every team, right? Unless you're running Lunala Miraidon. I do think Lunala Miraidon's good, but like Ursaluna kind of makes up for that lack of physical strength. Obviously, it doesn't really matter in the big picture. Like the Koraidon Ice Rider teams are still pretty solid too. So like, it's not an end all be all of splitting your restricteds, but I do think it's nice. And I think Qianpao should be better, but he's just kind of seemed lackluster. I feel like he just doesn't match up into a lot of the restricteds. He can't really hang with them, and like the Sash set just isn't enough where he's not like actually getting KOs anymore. He's usually 2-hit KOing things, and trading it with Qianpao just feels bad. But this team used him, and they enabled him pretty well. He's got a bunch of physical, like almost all physical, but then you have this beautiful like special attacker that is just so good here. These guys all are enabled, help enable this guy, but they also get abused by Qianpao. I like the composition here. Would I use it? Probably not. But yeah, it's kind of a neat team. I do think those type of Shadow Rider teams are viable and good. And then next up here, we're in top 4. I'll take a peek. But it is what we know and love here. The Ursula and Brubonnet team. It's kind of the classic. It's like, this is the default team. This was at first the standard. So I feel like a lot of players who are using this team probably picked it up day one and they're like, I fucking love this team. I'm running it at this tournament, right? Like, this is my tournament. So I still think it's pretty solid, but it definitely feels like it has taken some hits in the meta. It is very popular. People are very well practiced into it. I like this moveset on Flutter a lot. C-Bomb Sucker. Yeah, there's nothing too crazy here. I think this is all default except for this taunt. I feel like normally it was Shadow Ball, but yeah, this is all the standard, like all the Terras I'd like, all the moves I'd pick. Yeah, it's a pretty standard version. I still think it's probably pretty solid, but I think Koraidon Lunala does need some work moving forward. We'll probably talk about that later. So next up is Screamtail Terapagos. So sometimes they do run Encore Disable on this guy, which I think is pretty good. But this time they said, hey, I want to run a support set, and I want fucking Screamtail. So this plays 3rd, right? Yeah, 3rd place with this. I fuck with it. I make sense. Terapagos all needs to run Earth Power, no more Substitute. You need that coverage for Zam. Helping Hand is cool. Otherwise, yeah, nothing too crazy here. No, they only have Wisp on this guy. Usually this guy has Wisp too. But it's only Wisp on this guy, which is fine. We got the Jungle Trio, right? The Goon Squad, and then this guy. So bringing back the Screamtail is pretty nuts. I feel like it's one of those things, though, where like this player definitely was just comfortable with Terapagos, and they said, hey, I'm just going to put Shadow Rider on it and just succeed. So next up is the Talk of the Town. This is the team, Scraggy this is the team that everybody talked about from this tournament. Fucking Scraggy. Now what does it do? How is it good? Why are we using fucking Scraggy? Scraggy's kind of fucking sick here. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of fucking sick, right? You have Endeavor Scraggy, because he has dog shit HP, right? So he's able to hit an Endeavor. But he's bulky enough with the Eviolite that I'm sure you could fake out, set up Trick Room, and then Endeavor next turn, and then this guy is killing everything, right? And let's say that they leave Scraggy alone, and you're like, fuck it. I'm just gonna coach. And now this guy's getting fucking huge, right? This Scraggy team is actually kind of sick. Like, this is a sick fucking tech, right? And then, not only that, but it has foul play. So its damage, it does not matter. And it's dealing huge fucking damage to the targets it needs to, right? It's still doing fucking over a half to Ice Rider. It's doing big damage to the physical restricteds as well. It's kind of a cool tech, right? Like, you just have kind of endless options, and then if foul play isn't enough damage, you just hit them with an Endeavor, and now they're at, what, like 100 HP, and Ice Rider's going to pick them up. It's kind of a cool team. Scraggy's really sick here, and it was really cool to see Scraggy succeed at basically the highest level. And then otherwise, it's like kind of a standard Miraidon team, right? This guy's for the mirror. Ice Rider, Calyrex, or Ice Rider, Calyrex, yeah. Ice Rider, Iron Hands, Furgraph are all just goated together. This guy synergizes with that very well as well. So it's just like a really solid Trick Room team with a pretty good matchup in the mirror. It's just a sick team, and Scraggy kind of pops off there. And then the team that won is gonna be Calyrex, Weezing, Tatsugiri, Dondozo, Koraidon, and Brute Bonnet. Oof. Okay, fair enough. I do think Weezing Calyrex is really strong. I think it's something that we need to be prepared for moving forward. I think it's a very potent core. Not even with Dondozo, I think just in general. But specifically with Dondozo too, it does kind of pop off, right? Like, you're able to just blast holes, and then these guys come in and beat Ice Rider. And yeah, it's just really good in Ice Rider. It's good into, like, yeah, the Scraggy guy probably definitely really struggled. So it makes sense that this guy was able to beat the Scraggy guy with the Dondozo Tatsugiri. And then these guys are just good in everything else. So it just kind of makes a very good, holistic team. Yeah, I don't know. There's not too much to talk about. You've seen these type of teams before. Poison Gas, Toxic. The Weezing's annoying as fuck. No Covert Cloak on Weezing is kind of crazy. I mean, it is on Brute Bonnet. So you do have the Brute Bonnet Koraidon, Brute Bonnet Calyrex. I feel like it's one of those teams where it's like, alright, these guys are just here to scare you. Otherwise, these four are great together. And then you're like, you know what? Dozo mode time. Like, it's kind of just a matchup mod. But Dondozo did win the Thailand tournament. So there is that. Kind of sad. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, next up, we've got the Santiago regional top 8 teams. Placed the top, all the teams from the tournament. And so let's just start with top 8 here. So first up, we've got this classic Terapagos, Calyrex, and Incineroar team. So I feel like Incin plus these two is all you need. And then after that, you kind of are free to make the team however you want. We see Fluttermane. We see your Shifu. We see these three, right? I feel like you can just kind of blend them together. We saw Screamtail. You can blend them together. You just kind of choose which three are your favorite. But the first three of Incin, Terapagos, Calyrex, they do not change. They are the best Pokemon. And then you just kind of go from there. This guy opted to run Encore Disable, which I do think is pretty good. It kind of is the Screamtail, but with Astral Barrage, which is crazy. But this guy has 3 grass types as well, which is absolutely insane. Javier popping off with his grass trio there. But I think it makes sense, right? This guy helps with Zam. This guy helps with Zam. This guy helps with Zam, pressing Fake Out. So it's one of those things that you just need as much support as possible for Terapagos. And then you just kind of go from there. Terapagos breaks the team. It blows holes in the enemy team, and then this guy can come clean up, or this guy can help protect Terapagos with Encore Disable. It's nothing too crazy, but it's solid, and it just gives him tons of tools. Next up is fucking Raichu. What the hell? Okay, Raichu's coming in here with a luring voice. I'm not fully sure what that move does. Actually, if you get a stat boost, it confuses you, I'm pretty sure. Which is kind of wild, because Raichu's really fast, so it would have to be on switches. But, whoa, what the fuck? Snarl, Body Press, Terra Fire? Wide Guard? Okay, Wide Guard Protect makes sense. That's crazy. Ursaluna, we do have a Trick Room mode here. I didn't realize this is fucking Lunala Zam. And then it's just the... So we have the Fake Out Buddies, Lunala, and then Ursaluna. So you can easily go into Ursaluna with either of the Fake Out guys. And then I guess Zam is just there. Snarl, I mean... Do you need Heavy Slam? Not really. This is how you hit your ghost types now with fucking Snarl. Fuck Lunala, fuck Shadow Rider, I'm snarling them to death. And then this guy's just a Amoonguss, so this is a wild team. Darkest Lariat too, wow. Every choice is just like, I feel like just a little crazy, right? No Protect, Terra Grass. Every Pokemon except for Ursaluna has a little bit of wild sauce to them. Next up here, we've got the yeah. This is just the Zine Snow team. They both used it and did pretty well in Victory Road tournaments at the start of the format. So this is just their team. Pretty standard, like at the time. I kind of feel like, okay, no, this usually has Ice Shard, no Ice Shard. But yeah, I feel like this team is really solid, but we just aren't really seeing a lot of it. I feel like it was really solid early on, but it's kind of fallen off. I feel like it's not, it's still good, it's still solid, but it's definitely not as good as it was, right? Like I feel like it's kind of fallen off. I think some of the pieces are probably still worth using and figuring out. But like this 6 just didn't see much success, especially at Milwaukee. I mean, I guess here we're seeing it in top 8, so it did do well here. And then we've got so we've got Coal Mine Lunala, we've got Fake Out Brothers, we got Raging Bolt, and then Flutter Koraidon. That's wild. So it's like a setup team. Like we have the Coal Mine Lunala and we have the double Fake Out guys, but then we have this super strong Sun fast mode, which is pretty neat. I think this team is really cool. This was 5th? Yeah, it was 5th. I like it. I think I've actually played this dude on the ladder. I'm not really sure. But I think that this team is kind of solid. I think Coal Mine Lunala has some strength to it. And I think like it could be used. And I think this is the start of how I would use it. I think this 6 is a really good skeleton for wanting to use Coal Mine Lunala. At least with Koraidon. I think you could probably try it with stuff like, I don't know, maybe Zam. I don't know how else you'd use it. It's like probably just Zam or Koraidon. But either way, I think it's kind of cool. It kind of warps the matchup into Shadow Rider because you're able to just hit the Shadow Rider really hard, especially if you get the Calm Minds up first. And then you have this fast mode that can threaten Shadow Rider. And yeah, you got the Fake Out guys to help support. And then this thing's going to go infinite, right? Like with the leftovers, with Rillaboom, and the Shadow Shield, like if it does refresh, you're chilling, dude. You're chilling. So I do kind of fuck with it, like as an idea, because I do think Lefty's Lunala with Moonblast is so broken. Fuck it, throw Calm Mind on there, and it's probably pretty good. And then this guy is just perfect. It kind of just brings it all together. It gives you a good Miraidon matchup. Like I kind of feel like this team looks really, really solid. Shame it didn't do better. And then next up, well, if I do say so myself, this team is beautiful. I wouldn't change anything about it. Perfect team. Perfection. Shoutouts to Juan for popping off with the same team that I used at Milwaukee. I believe actually Alex did coach this player as well, and Alex is like my friend and he helped me build the team. And so shout out to Juan for popping off. I still think this team is pretty good. This is the team that I used and worked on. I don't know if I'd make any changes. I do think it gives you a lot of good options, and I think you just have like amazing Pokemon, right, with these 3, and then you just have a good restricted duo, and Fluttermane is awesome. So yeah, that team's sick. I have a whole breakdown on it. If you want to watch, just it's on my channel. I did break down that entire team, and Alex and I talked about building it. Next up here, we have Juan Salerno with kind of a similar-ish team to the Snow team, but instead we have Amoonguss and Raging Bolt. And then it still has, no Urshifu or Torn, but instead we have Qianpao with Life Orb, which is wild. But yeah, you got the supports. I don't know, this team just has no speed control, but like you kind of break that by having Wide Guard and also Sash and also like 3 priority mons. So it kind of works. Like you don't really care about Trick Room or Tailwind because you just have these guys. And then if it's Trick Room, you have Amoonguss. So it makes sense. I think it's just kind of like I don't really want to call it a balancy team, but it kind of is. It's like kind of like very reactionary. Like you're like, all right, I don't have any setup. I only have damage. So I'm just going to play it slow and try to deal damage and try to kill you with my restricteds being as bulky and as powerful as they are. I never like playing those type of teams. And then obviously in second place, once again, we have the GOAT team here. We've got the Justin Zhang Shieling team, Andrew Ding team. Nothing much to say. And then the team that won is pretty wild here. So it's very similar to the team that won, or that got second at Milwaukee, but very different at the same time. It's like a hybrid of both the teams. It's literally a hybrid of the 2 teams that were in the Milwaukee finals, right? But this one has the Leech Seed Calyrex. So for those who do not know, Leech Seed Calyrex is insanely good right now. It's one of the best sets in the format. Now you're probably saying why? Like why fucking Leech Seed, right? Like we're playing Stall. But paired with Grimmsnarl, it lives forever, right? Well, Leech Seed goes nuts because he has insane stats. So him healing every single turn with lefties and Leech Seed goes incredibly hard. And then also, if you just think about it from like a really, really basic like baby Pokemon understanding. Leech Seed doesn't hit grass types, but Glacial Lance does. So it just fucking works, right? Like, whatever you're not leech seeding, you're hitting with fucking Glacial Lance. It also makes it really, really potent into the wide guard Pokemon. Zamazenta, Lunala are just giving this guy insane HP. And then there's a point where they're like, fuck, I'm just losing HP, I have to attack it. But the minute you attack it, it can start spamming Glacial, and you can't press wide guard and slow this thing down. So I think it's just like a really, really good set and a really good answer to the meta. And shout out to Max for popping off with this beautiful, beautiful set. I've actually tested this team a little bit. I think it's really fun. I think I'd recommend trying this one out. But yeah, otherwise it's like pretty standard stuff, right? Like you've got Miraidon, Iron Hands, Calyrex, Volcarona to help set up the support. But it does have Tailwind, which is really cool because you're able to Tailwind with Miraidon. And also, the bear probably has some speed on it, so you can get this guy going real, real fast. And you also have Thunder Wave, Speed Control, you have Trick Room. Like, you just have so many options at your disposal. You have the Bear, which is no Earthquake, which is kind of fun. And it has fucking Crunch, which is wild. But yeah, this Pokemon just hits like a fucking truck. It works in Trick Room, it can work in Tailwind, it can work in Thunder Wave. And you just have so many options. I shout out to Max for this beautiful, awesome team. I think this team is really sick, and I think Leech Seed Calyrex is here to stay because we're about to see it a little bit more in the in the next two tournaments we look at here. But I think Max performed really, really well, and I think he deserved to win because this team is sick. I'm a huge fan, dude. I'm a huge fan. And yeah, I don't know what I'd change. I think this team is awesome. I think it was a great call for the format. I think Leech Seed is so good right now, and Max was on that train ready to go for the first regional of Reg-I in Latin America. So let's hop over from Latin America. Let's go to Australia now and look at their teams. All right. Now that we're in the down under, we can look at some of these teams here. So I'm going to take a quick look here. I want to talk about two teams in top 6 teams specifically. Joji's team, this is Suika, who's won like 2 or 3 of the fucking GCs. He's performing really, really well. He opted to run an insane AV Groudon team paired with a Calyrex Ice Rider with Body Press in Prison. Absolutely insane work right here. We have Toxic fucking Amoonguss. It just gets crazier the more you look at it. This guy's not too crazy. This guy's not too crazy. But these 3 are wild. Brick Break. He said, fuck Grimmsnarl. I'm breaking through the screens. He said, fuck Terapagos. I'm poisoning that guy. Fuck Zamazenta. I'm imprisoning him. This is all open sheet, by the way. Joji went absolutely nuts, getting top 16. And then we got to talk about Shohei Kimura, the 2023 world champion, decided to roll up to this tournament with Zam Miraidon. He's unironically, I've heard, a Joe UX9 fan. So he's got Zam Miraidon, Volcarona, Grimmsnarl, Iron Hands. Joe had Ditto here over Chiempao. But I kind of like the Chiempao. I think it does add some depth here. Terra Ghost. Nothing too crazy otherwise. But yeah, kind of a wild thing to see our previous world champion playing in Australia, but here we are. And then let's check out these top 8 teams. So first off, we got this boring team again. There's nothing too much to say. I think, again, this was kind of like, I think it's a little dated now. I'm not like super in love with this team, but I do think it's still solid, but it is a little dated. But I think like a lot of players, okay, this guy's base though, he went Moonblast Leftovers. But yeah, this team is kind of, it's not as broken as it was, but I feel like a lot of these players like were able to pop off with it because it is like, they had a ton of practice with it. And I think it was probably the call for this tournament, but going forward, I don't know if I would run it. Maybe it's still fucking good. I don't know. I just think it's so well known. I think Koraidon Lunala needs some work, but either way, popping off with it here, getting top 8. And then we've got a the Shadow Rider plus the Fake Out guys. Like I mentioned before, oh, this is actually just the 3 grass type one too. It's the exact same one we talked about earlier. But yeah, it's just the Fake Out guys plus Shadow Rider Terapagos. Nothing too crazy I'm seeing. I like how they did this one's really set up nice for me too to talk about because we got these 3, the goats, and then these 3 are the change slots. I do think Amoonguss seems like one of the best options. I think Amoonguss is the one. I'm not really sure. I think Amoonguss should be always part of the team. I think Rillaboom actually isn't as necessary as you think. I think Ogerpon is pretty important as well, just because it gives you like Follow Me instead of Rage Powder. This guy also opted to run Knockoff, which is pretty crazy. I think they are running that though. But yeah, otherwise pretty normal 6 that we see there. Next up here is a similar team to the Wanfi team we saw earlier, but this one is going to be Pollen Puff Psychic. Okay, so it's offensive Calyrex paired with Zam. This is definitely like the This one I feel like is more balancy, right? Like it's very reactionary. It's like, hey, I'm gonna let you do your thing, but I'm gonna try to stop you with fake out, with rage powder, with really strong fucking guys and priority, and I'm just gonna hope it's enough. And it clearly has been enough here. I don't really know what to say about this stuff. I don't like Shadow Rider Sam. Like, I think it's good. I just don't love this type of team. So I don't know what I really want to say about it. It's definitely good. It's definitely good. Next up is Bingji's team. So Bingji's on some crazy shit, right? He used to play in the United States, but I believe he moved back home to China. I'm not fully sure. But this is a Leech Seed Calyrex team popping off, right? Terra Fairy. But this one has fucking Rillaboom Miraidon. Double terrain. Goes incredibly hard here, right? And now you're probably saying, Colin, why the fuck would I run Miraidon Rillaboom? It seems like hot fucking garbage. They literally cancel each other's terrains out. Why would I do that? Well, I'm here to tell you it's actually kind of goated. Because Leech Seed Calyrex loves having its own terrain, right? You're getting Leech Seed, you're getting leftovers, and you're getting grassy terrain. You're going fucking nuts. He's eating fucking good, right? But at the same time, it also enables your Calyrex, right? Like into Miraidon, into enemy Miraidon. It's really lit to have your Rillaboom. But then you also still have this guy because you get to control when he comes in. So you can just like lead him and just say, hey, I'm just going to fucking Volt Switch. I'm just going to attack and then bring him in later. Like, I'm sure there's instances where it probably clashes. But for the most part, you can play around it and you can control it. They both have pivot moves. So it's not hard to switch your terrain at a moment's notice, right? And then we have Amoonguss on the Miraidon team, and then Incineroar as well, and then a Bandit or Shifu to round things out. A wild team truly cooking here, and again, Leech Seed Calyrex, so super goated shit. And then next up we have, whoa, what is this? So we've got Scott's team here, which is, this is top 4. So Scott's got Final Gambit Annihilate, Sash No Terrain Indeedee, holy shit. It has Fake Out, Helping Hand, Trick Room. It's like a budget. It's like a giraffe without the armor tail and with Fake Out instead. Paired with Miraidon, we got Screens and then just like a normal and then Electric Seed, Iron Hands. Oh my god, this team's fucking nuts. Foul Play, Spirit Break, no speed control. It's just double coverage. Grimmsnarl paired with Calyrex. I kind of fuck with it in a way because like you're setting up Trick Room and now this guy's actually like a fucking problem, right? Like having both these moves, I feel like he covers most situations, right? You're either smacking a Lunala with Foul Play or a Calyrex, or you're weakening a Miraidon or a Calyrex with Spirit Break. So fuck yeah, that's crazy. This guy's sick, obviously. Final Gambit Ape is something that I think not a lot of players are necessarily prepared for, and then this guy's got Electric Seed, Iron Hands. Absolutely insane cook from Scott. Shout out to that guy. And then we've got Louis Tan's team here with Amoonguss, Shadow Rider, Choppleberry, Incineroar, Zamazenta, Black Glasses or Shifu, and then Rillaboom. Yeah, it's kind of boring. I mean, like, it's boring to a degree, but a lot of spicy picks, right? Like, having Urshifu Dark's wild. Having Choppleberry Instant is kind of sick. With Terra Bug, too. So he's like, sometimes I want a Terra. Sometimes I don't. I do like this Nasty Plot Sash set. We've got Fake Out Brothers for the Urshifu and the Calyrex. It's like a weird version of like the standard. It's like the normal Zam Calyrex, like what you'd imagine. But then it's just slightly off, right? Like fucking Darkfu, fucking Choppleberry Instant. It's kind of cool. I kind of fuck with it. I feel like this thing probably threw a lot of wrenches in people's plans. And just like having to deal with the Nasty Plot Sash set with Terra Ghost and dealing with this Incineroar probably fucked some people up and messed up their game plans here. And then we have Jude Lee, infamous VGC player. So Jude ran his like I feel like Jude's always been on Terrapagos. He's kind of a ladder warrior band. I've shown him multiple times for boosting, but very good at playing the game. Very good at Showdown specifically, and I feel like when I've seen him, he's always on Terrapagos. So we've got Terrapagos plus Incineroar, Rillaboom. Kind of the standard stuff like I mentioned before, these three. But then opting for Fluttermane over Amoonguss with Taunt and Thunderwave. I think Fluttermane is pretty good. I think we've seen a lot of fake tiers in this slot as well. But this one's opting for Taunt. And yeah, I think it gets around Clear Amulet. It does a lot of damage with Moonblast, and it synergizes really, really well with Terrapagos, in my opinion, right? Like, having that taunt pressure to shut down Amoonguss, having Thunderwave to make Koraidon slower is really, really big, specifically in the finals, where I did watch the finals. The finals will be posted tomorrow if you want to watch the Melbourne finals between Jude here and Masayoshi, who used a Walking Wake Galar Weezing team. Absolutely insane shit. Walking Wake with AV. Scarf Chi-Yu. This thing is absolutely insane. The Walking Wake is crazy. Otherwise, yes, it is the Weezing, Calyrex, and Koraidon, which is a very, very good core. I think those three we're going to see a lot of. I mentioned that earlier. I did win 2 of the 4 events were won by this goat right here. It's kind of funny because 2 of the 4 events were won by Weezing, Calyrex, Koraidon, which clearly was a good call going into this time frame of the format. But then on the other hand, Leech Seed Calyrex was also a really good call going into this. So, but yeah, I think Taunt's really, really good with Covert Cloak. It shuts down those Lunalas. It shuts down Ursaluna as well. Ursaluna hates Weezing because it doesn't get its Guts ability. It still can hit you with Facade, but no Guts. Incin, just classic Incin, and then you just get to go nuts with your 2 restricted. So there's not too much to say. This is just kind of like a really offensive team with Weezing as this like, he's like the dam. He holds back all of the flowing water of all the annoying shit that this team hates, right? He's like, fuck Ursaluna, fuck Lunala, fuck Terapagos, I will hold it back, I am Weezing, and then the rest of the team just carries the the top hat, man. So let's go into the final regional. We're almost done. Let's go into the final regional. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce the name. It was in Europe, it was in Germany. Let's check it out. All right, and finally we are on Utrecht. I think I said it right. We're on Utrecht, the final regional of this weekend, the final event. 4 fucking events is nuts. And so let's break it down. Let's go through it. We're almost there, boys. We're almost there. So I'm not even gonna cover the team. I'm not interested in it. So this is a team that's very similar to so this is top 32, top 21. So this is a team that was similar to a team that I believe DeWay used at Milwaukee. Yes, DeWay. But instead, I believe they had Rillaboom maybe over Annihilate. I don't really remember what the last... Maybe I don't think it was Rillaboom. I don't remember what it was. But Annihilate is new here. But it is just this Life Dew setup team to help the Calm Mind Miraidon. It's kind of a cool team. I feel like it's kind of nuts and kind of hard to deal with. But yeah, I don't know. This team is weird. It's got the leftovers Ho-Oh. It becomes unkillable with the teacup. It becomes unkillable screens. This guy sets up Calm Minds and goes nuts. Boring team. This one is I actually think this team is kind of good. It's very different. It's a little different, but it is kind of just the same similar-ish type team as what's it called? I'm blanking. It's the it's the Justin Tang, Shilling Tam, Andrew Ding team, but instead it has Leech Seed Calyrex. I believe Arubega actually used this team in one of the online qualifiers, or he gave it to a bunch of his friends, and they used it in the Japanese qualifiers. So we kind of knew about it. But these are the 6, and I think, but with Leech Seed Calyrex specifically, and I think it goes kind of hard. It kind of just gives a different type of Trick Room setter for the bear while still having the bear, and then this thing just becomes unkillable with Snarl, Screens, Intimidate. How are you killing Leech Seed Calyrex, right? How? It's not happening. Boring Turtle team, I don't want to talk about it. Similar team. Okay, this team's kind of nuts. So we've got Grassy Seed Lunala with Calm Mind. Rillaboom to give it lefties and the Grassy Seed. And then just a Pelipper to help deal with Koraidon teams. And then just Raging Bolt Zam. This is the chosen one Calm Mind Lunala team. This is just all like fake out, Grassy Seed, Intimidate, Rain, Wide Guard. Like it's all support the Lunala and let the Lunala go crazy. What a team, Whew. What is this? Okay. This kind of looks like my UIC team, actually. But with, okay, Taunt Chiampao goes nuts. Wow. Sub, Life Orb, Calyrex, Fake Tears Whims, and then just, like, good Pokemon, right? It's kind of aggressive. Like, the Chiampao pairs well with them. Whimsicott goes kind of hard. I wonder how they beat Trick Room. I guess Taunt, right? But either way, yeah, this team is wild. That team goes hard. Boring stuff. Ooh, okay. Zam, Kyogre with Thunder. Kyogre is kind of interesting because I haven't really seen it pop off or do like amazing yet, but I think it's in like a solid good spot in the format. Like I think it's a good Pokemon. I think Kyogre is objectively good, and I think we're starting to see. We'll talk about it a little bit in a sec here, but we're starting to see it really pop off. And really start to find a footing, right? And I think it involves Roaring Moon. I think Roaring Moon Kyogre is the way to go. Shocker, right? It's really good in the last format. But then Amoonguss or Shifu pair really well with it, and then I guess Zam as well, right? It's this really strong physical. You got the physical special split. This guy goes really nuts with Chiempao. And yeah, it just looks like a really solid team. Okay, this team is nuts. Giuseppe Musico's team is absolutely crazy. What the fuck? So we got knockoff Ogerpon. We got this Spore Amoonguss. We got Ice Rider, pretty standard, no Leaf Seed. We got Calm Mind Tropicos. P2 with Terra Flying, Try Attack Shadow Ball, so it's not even Terra Blast. And then just Will-O-Wisp Instant. I don't know how this team beat Zamazenta, like whatsoever, like at all. But it's kind of sick, right? Like, I don't know how it's beating Zam. It clearly beat it some of the time. But wow. Yeah, I guess you rely on Amoonguss. You rely on, like, Amoonguss Wisp. You rely on your instant to beat Zam. That's crazy. And then Arulian Sola whipping up Audie's team here. I think Audie's team is really, really solid. This team, I think, has a lot of... I think it's like... It's a really, really good Bear team. I think Bear synergizes well with Ho-Oh Miraidon really, really well. And I like these four together. And I mean, I like these two as well. I don't know how I feel about Grim fully. But I do think these five are just so good. And I think Audie cooked up, like, potentially a very, like, solid, good meta team throughout the format. I think this team is really good. Let's see what else here. Oh, wow, Serena. Serena Kyogre Torn. That's absolutely nuts. Okay, so this is just hyper offense, really. It's very, very aggressive. You have the Queenly Majesty to stop priority. You got Kyogre Miraidon dealing insane damage, but then you have a really strong physical Mons pair over here, so you kind of make up for being the full special. And then you just get to spam really strong special moves in Tailwind. Very simple team, very strong. Clearly catching a lot of people off guard. And now we are in top 8. Okay, cool. Number 8 here is this team is just so fucking good, dude. I just think this 6 might just be the 6 for this team. I think these guys are popping off right now. All around the world, this team is just so fucking good. I'm not even going to talk about it again, but wow. Okay, fucking Entei. Holy shit. Okay, we got Life Orb Entei. This team's crazy. What? So you have Tailwind Whimsicott to just get everything going. And then, I really like Darkfu. I think a lot of the counters for this guy just fully aren't there yet. So I like Darkfu. I think he fucks up some of the ways people approach the matchups. And then, I don't know what the fuck Entei does. Outside of not being faked out, I guess. But it does give you this really strong physical side of the spectrum. And then you have the Lunala plus Miraidon core, which I think is also just... They're just two of the best. Like, I feel like it's Miraidon, Ice Rider, Miraidon Lunala, and Miraidon, Zam, CSR seem to be like the big three. But even then, the other guys you can use just totally fine, right? But yeah, this team, Psychic's pretty wild. But otherwise, yeah, it's just kind of like a good, solid team, I guess, with a fucking Entei. Entei's crazy. Okay, so this is the team I want to talk about. I think this team is pretty good. I like the way this one's built. So this is Kyogreization, right? I feel like Kyogreization just isn't super... It's just... People thought at first, oh, it could be good, it could be solid, but we just haven't seen that concrete good team yet. And I think this might be it. So we've got Kyogre plus Zacian. SD Zacian as well. And then we have the Roaring Moon, which I think is essential, right? You need that Tailwind mode for Kyogre to function really, really well. And then Amoonguss is good, right, for all this. You got the Fake Out guy, and then you have the Taunt, Rapid Striker Shifu that just pairs so well with all of these things, right? He pairs so well with Kyogre. He pairs pretty well with Roaring Moon as well. So yeah, I think this team is like the first look at what Kyogreization could be. I think maybe Torn was just wrong the whole time, and it was always Roaring Moon. But either way, shout out to Eric for popping off. Beautiful, beautiful team, getting 6th. And then we have Iron Bundle, Darkfu. Once again, Darkfu showing up a little bit. We got Iron Bundle, who I think is pretty good. I'm a big fan of Iron Bundle, paired with Miraidon Ho-Oh. Once I was watching some of the Joey set, and I was like, damn, Iron Bundle actually looks good. So I kind of fuck with Iron Bundle. I kind of think maybe he is good on this type of team. Just helps with the speed ties, helps with just gives you a good, really fast, aggressive mode instead of running the Whimsicott. I don't know about Booster. I like Sash, but I guess this guy wanted Sash. But yeah, I think these 6 Pokemon are pretty good, and I like this team. I like Iron Bundle. I like Miraidon Ho-Oh. I always love these two paired with them. It kind of is a more like non-Trick Room focused team, which I think is fine because the Ice Rider versions become more Trick Room focused, but the Giraffe still has Trick Room, but it still enables everybody on the squad. All right, top 4. We're almost there. So I'm just gonna save this team. I'm just gonna put a pin in that one. We're gonna talk about that one in a sec, anyways, because it does end up winning. But first, we gotta talk about the Hoge brothers. So I don't. At this point, you guys should know about the Hoge brothers. If you're involved in the community, you know these guys are the bear goats. They love Ursaluna. They love Ursaluna. One of them, I think it was this one. I think because there's 2 brothers, and they both love Ursaluna. But one of them got top 4 at Worlds using Ursaluna regular, but then now they've become Blood Moon fanatics. They were using something very similar to this in the last regulation, but obviously with no Zam. But they were using this crazy Sneasler with Electric Seed. And once again, they're popping off with it, getting 3rd place at this regional with Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Sneasler, Torn, Miraidon. Absolutely crazy shit. Rain Dance, too. But yeah, they just love Blood Moon. And they just keep building Blood Moon teams. No helping hand on this guy's a little crazy. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, otherwise, yeah, it's kind of like, I don't want to say standard at all, but it's standard for them. Like Torn, Sneasler, Miraidon, Blood Moon. It's like they have the Sneasler that can just be good with Miraidon, but then they have the Blood Moon that pairs well with the Ether speed control, right? If Tailwind's up, he's like max speed. If Trick Room's up, he's still pretty slow even though he's max speed. So you're able to pop off with the Blood Moon no matter what. And then this silly little Zam just kind of like rounds it out together. This is just basically what they used last format, but they just transitioned it for this format to get fucking 3rd place. All right. So now we have the finalist teams. So first off, we got Zam, Rillaboom. This is like the standard, right? We got the Fake Out Brothers plus Urshifu, and then we've got Zam, Calyrex. But Ogerpon Fire is a little weird, a little different, but it does give you that priority mode, right? You have double priority. You've got the Fake Out Brothers. You have a setup Nasty Plot, Terra Dark, Life Orb, Calyrex, Shadow Rider, and then you have Urshifu. It's just kind of a good team. A lot of these teams are just really good with the best supporters so that they can do the most damage and cause the most problems and be as disruptive as possible during the battle, right? And that's kind of what the Fake Out guys do. You can see it a lot in the finals versus Michael, that it is a lot of just disrupting, setting up with Calyrex, and just trying to sweep. This is very much just a traditional, I'm going to press Nasty Plot, I'm going to kill all your guys with Calyrex, and I'm going to win. And that's what this team does. It's nothing too super duper crazy, but it's still very, very good. And finally, the team that won, Michael Couch, the GOAT at this point. MDB wins the regional. MDB is absolutely insane. If you want to watch the final set, I broke it down with my good friend Chemo in the last video I uploaded on my channel. So if you want to check that out, definitely do that. But this team is just so fucking good. You've got the Leech Seed Calyrex. I love the AV Incineroar paired with Miraidon. And then you have this Grimmsnarl to make sure this guy lives forever. The Landorus is really smart, really cool. I think it matches up incredibly well into the Justin Tang team with Taunt. And then, yeah, you have Bandit or Shifu just to round things out. I think this team is a masterpiece. And Michael did release it, which is really sick. I'll link that down below as well if you want to try this one out. But this team is just good. You've got so much utility, so many good tools. You have the screens, you got the Fake Out, you got Specs Miraidon to deal big damage, and then this guy to clean everything up with Leech Seed. And then a pretty cool call in this Landorus, in my opinion. And then this, it's just kind of like just the Tang team, the Justin Tang, Shielding Tang team, but kind of different. Like you have the Leech Seed Calyrex, but there is no Ursaluna, and instead they opted for Landorus, which I think is really good in the current format. I think Landorus is really cool, and I think the Taunt set specifically is very, very sick. What a great team. What a great series of events there. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys enjoyed checking out all these teams and breaking it down. There's a ton of teams to look at, a ton of events that happened this last weekend. So I appreciate you for sticking through, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.